So, first of all, I am absolutely amazed at this weekend. Beyond my wildest imaginations, I want to thank the athletic department and the Sept Club for everything they did this weekend. It's just something I'll never forget. It's really fantastic. I want to congratulate my fellow inductees and families. Truly an honor for me. I want to thank Mark Ludington and Ron Zorn for the nomination. Mark was a fellow teammate of mine back in the 80s. And Ron Zorn was actually my physics teacher back in Spencerport and a fellow coach at the Churchville Soccer Club back in Rochester. I want to thank the Sept Club Committee for voting me in to the Hall of Fame. Truly an honor for me to be included. When I read through all the bios of all the people that are on the wall, it's hard to believe that I'm included in that group. It really is. So thank you. I wouldn't be standing here tonight without the support of my family. Most of them are here tonight. My kids, my wife, my mother, my brother, my sister-in-law. My father, he would be here, my 89-year-old father, but he fell ill last night. I know he's thinking of me back home. My parents especially, their never-ending support of me through my younger years, through high school, through college. As most of us that are parents know, it takes a big commitment to support your kids when you choose to participate in athletics. There's a lot of practices, a lot of games, a lot of travel, emergency room visits, surgeries. Thank you for supporting me through all that. I want to thank my wife, Michelle, almost 33 years of marriage, for her love and support. All that she's given me while I spent so many nights and weekends either playing, coaching, practice, traveling around the Northeast with various teams I've coached over the last 30 years. I know she spent a lot of nights and weekends at home during those times, and I want you to, I appreciate it. My kids, Jen, Alyssa, and Frankie, all former college soccer players, for putting up with me as a sometimes overly competitive coach. Sometimes. I'm extremely proud of the adults you've become. I want to thank SUNY Cortland and the athletic department for their commitment to excellence. For so many years, my teammates I had back in the time I was here, there are two here tonight, Mark Ludington I mentioned already, and Luis Gonzalez, who's up here all the way from Puerto Rico. Thank you. I also want to recognize two teammates that I had that have since passed. Hans Bloomer, who was a student from Sweden, who was a midfielder for us that I call him a mutter. He was a guy who, as the weather got worse, he got better. And we spent a lot of time together. He passed several years back, and I really miss him dearly. The other one I want to recognize is Phil Diffley. Phil was we came in as freshmen together, and he was the most passionate soccer player I've ever met in my entire life. From the first day of practice, he zeroed in on me, and he pushed us, and pushed us, and pushed us. From the first day of practice to that last game against the University of North Carolina, Greensboro, up the field, up here at Holloway Field, where we lost in Sunday, overtime. Unfortunately, Phil passed because of ALS several years ago as well, and I was lucky enough to see him before that happened down in New York. So, both of those guys, I miss them dearly. My success didn't happen in a vacuum. Absolutely not. It was enabled by the great teammates that I was fortunate to play with over the years, both at Spencerport High School, which had a long reputation of winning, and here at Cortland as well. Lastly, but certainly not least, I want to thank my coaches here at Cortland, especially Fred Tauben. Many of you know Fred. I wish he was here tonight. I can't express enough the impact that he had on my 4 years here on the soccer team. The coach who saw in me what I didn't see in myself. I was actually a forward when I came here. I played forward all my life. From the time I was a kid through high school, I was used to scoring goals. And I'll give him credit. He let me try it my freshman year and my sophomore year. And I do remember, for you guys that we played together, we went to Ponderosa, away games after a game. And I remember the day distinctly. We were waiting in line to eat our little steak that they used to serve us. And he was looking for a center back our sophomore year. It was our worst year. We went like 6-8 for that year. And that was not a record that a Cortland team should have had. So I remember talking to him, and he had tried all kinds of players at center back, and he knew I didn't want to play there. but I dabbled in it once in a while. And I remember that day I gave in it, and I said, Coach, I'll do it. I'll be your center back. And from that point on, history was made for me. I wouldn't be here tonight if that decision wasn't made, because I never imagined being an All-American center back, never. So I thank him for that. Fred was an unbelievable coach. You know, we worked really hard as a team, but we had a lot of fun. He was just a great guy. I swear, in the park building this morning, I could still smell his cigar smoke. He knew where he was in the building by the smell of his cigar, and I swear I was following it this morning and I couldn't find him. So. I patterned a lot of the way I coached over the years with the kids I coached. I coached kids from the age 4 all the way up through 19 for over 30 years, and much of the way I coached came from the way Fred coached. My only regret was that I couldn't do my part to win the national championship. He truly deserved that, and boy, did we come close. Final Four, University of North Carolina, Greensboro, right up here at the field, sudden death overtime. Just a quick little funny story about Fred. I've told this before. I had a tendency to pass the ball back to the keeper. These days, keeper can't pick the ball up with his hands. Back then, they could. So Charlie Moore was our goalie. It was sudden death overtime against the University of North Carolina. And I met the coach from the University of North Carolina after, when I went down to Tampa. And their All-American forward was, I can't remember his name, but he was told by his coach, watch the center back. He's going to hit the ball back to the keeper. Well, sure enough, I hit it back to the center. I went to the keeper. Maybe I didn't hit it hard enough. That's what some people tell me. Goalie came out, forward came in, 50-50 ball. The ball rolled in super slow motion into the goal, and we lost. Fast forward 6 months later, we're at an awards banquet, and Tavi is presenting the game ball to somebody who we wanted to present to. Turns out it was me. And the way he put it was, since you were the last one to touch the ball, I'm going to present the ball to you. So, knowing Fred, it sounds mean, but knowing Fred, it was all fun. So I do have that ball signed by all my teammates down in the basement of my house, and every time I walk by it, I have an old sweat. In closing, I want to thank add, and I'm extremely proud to say that I'm a Cortland graduate and an alumni of the soccer program here at Cortland. And seeing the continued success of the program under Coach Axtell makes me even prouder. And this induction is absolutely the icing on the cake, and I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. So thank you very much.